if you can't move out of the city, you need to do this now. A lot of people can't move, right? Especially with everything going on. Housing is going up. Housing prices are going up. Rent's going up everywhere. Nowhere is cheap. You can buy land in a lot of other states, but then you got to build a home. And building a home is cheaper than actually purchasing an already built home, but it still costs money to get that home built. Plus, all of the permits and things that are involved in building a home also add to that getting a home built. So if you can't move, guys, and you are married to the city, whether that's for work, financial reasons, or because your kids are still in school, there is something you need to do damn near right away. And that is building a community within your building, whatever building you live in. Now, if you live in a home in the city, you could do the same thing with your neighbors, immediate neighbors, and people you trust and know. A lot of the problem is the trusting and knowing, because a lot of us who live in buildings like this, we don't want to get to know other people. I should have fucked don't. But it needs to be done, and it is a necessity, because if everything fails, if something happens that is catastrophic and you are dependent on yourself and maybe the people around you, it is better to have a number of people to back you up, support you, and help you out versus being alone and contending with those very same people for whatever it might be, food, water, just your gear in general. Now, for the most part, a lot of people in these buildings we keep to ourselves. So there's not a lot known about one another other than just watching the person come in and out of the building. And that's it. And how they dress or what they carry, that's all we might notice about one another. But we don't know what's going on in our personal lives. Like me, a lot of people don't know what I do. They might know I'm a fireman, but they don't know that I prep, because people in the city are in their own world. And a lot of people do not know who I am. So if you are in a better standing where no one knows who you are, that's great. You can gather your preps and you can convince people slowly to start prepping, because that is a better way to go about it. Now, a lot of people, especially people who live out in the sticks, you're going to be like, you should just move out. I'm looking to get the hell out of here. But there are a lot of people who just can't. Though I've been looking for apartments, and what I'm paying right now versus what I'm going to pay if I leave or when I leave, it's out of control. I'm paying $1,700 for this apartment, 3 bedrooms. A 3-bedroom apartment outside of New York City is at least $2,200-$2,300 at the very least, and that also depends on what neighborhood that apartment's in. If a 3 bedrooms in a nice neighborhood, you're looking at $25,000-$30,000 grand. So I'm winning right now, being that I'm in this, first of all, shitty neighborhood, but I'm also paying rent because of that whole rent lock thing. I forgot what it was called. But still, I need to get out of here. But a lot of people cannot leave, especially if you have elderly or kids that are sick. Like if your kid has autism or something and you don't want to uproot his life to go somewhere else, I get that. If a parent is sick, you don't want to uproot them and have them visiting another doctor in another state. I understand that. The other problem with the leaving is what's going to happen is not guaranteed. Are there signs there that something will happen? Yes. But is it guaranteed to happen? No. We were supposed to, years ago, be in a civil war. We were supposed to have a financial collapse years ago. We're in 2024 now. And nothing has really gone down other than what we are watching this election unfold and the things that could happen with that. Everything could happen, not it will happen. Now, yes, we will see a financial collapse. It's just a matter of when. It might happen next year. It might happen another 20 years from now. We don't know. Will there be a nuclear war? It can happen tomorrow. It can happen another 20, 30, 50 years from now. We don't know. So uprooting yourself on the possibility of something happening is what stops a lot of people from moving, because people are comfortable where they're at. They like their home. They like the access to what they have around them. They don't want to move somewhere and then have to drive to a Walmart or a store. So I get that. And again, a lot of people, such as myself, we're leaving for different reasons. I'm not leaving for prepping reasons. I'm leaving because I have no parking to park my truck, and it's just crowded here. I want to move somewhere where it's quiet. The noise here is at a new level, by the way, at night. Like, just if you leave a window open, you hear all kinds of shit. I'm pretty sure you hear rapings in the background. You hear crackheads scurrying about. because they make a sound when they scurry. You hear cars honking, people yelling, cop cars, fire trucks, everything. Everything. You even hear fucking rats screaming in a fucking alleyway. I shit you not. So that's another reason to leave. But if you're stuck and you can't, you have to form a community. A community of people backing you up during whatever disaster might happen. It could be a short-term disaster, guys. I know a lot of our channels, we talk about long-term disasters, but there are a ton of short-term disasters that we overlook. And having a community, even for a short-term disaster, is going to go a very long way than not having anyone and being on your own. Now, there are some people who can do it on their own, but you are less likely to want to do it on your own when you live in a building surrounded by people. If you're in the sticks, if you're on rural land, that's a given. You don't have anybody that wants to rely on you, and you're not running into people feeling bad for them and wanting to help them out. Whereas you live in a building here, you're going to want to help out people, especially if you are of a decent human being. So again, guys, start a community as fast as possible. Start introducing yourself to your neighbors. I'm trying to do that. I just hate these motherfuckers in this fucking building, and that's why I haven't done it yet. So I am speaking out the side of my neck when I talk about try to introduce yourself to people. Try to be friendly. It's hard. Try it. Try to build some community. Try to start a community event in your building. Do something where you can introduce yourself to people and pick out who you want to team up with or who you want to stay away from. I know who I want to stay away from in this building just looking at them. But there are other people that I would be interested in teaming up with should this shit hits the fan. Anyway, guys, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.